Alright, welcome everyone to Winners Finals of the Aria of Sorrow Randomizer Tournament hosted by Speedgaming. Today you have myself, Vadi, and Baxter's commentating for the match between Berix and Luicho.
So this is game 1 of 2 tonight, and we have chosen Stat Rando and Inverse Souls for the first preset here.
And we should be getting started in just a couple of minutes here once we get everything kind of synced up on our end. They're both hoping for anti-venoms and uncurse. Honestly, who can blame them? Berix, I believe, is currently the favorite to win this event, but I think it could be a pretty close match either way between pretty much everyone left in the event at the time. Berix and Luicho are both extremely talented players.
Yeah, it should be some good matches here.
Oh, I'm very excited. I do believe, don't quote me on this, but I think they have gentlemen to do double or even potentially triple Stat Rando and Inverse Soul, so this may be the only preset we end up seeing. And for those who don't know, what Stat and Rando and Inverse Souls means is basically just all enemies will have their stats randomized between plus and minus attack, plus and minus defense, plus and minus HP, and they can have elements randomized as well, meaning they can resist or be weak to every single element in the game. Inverse Souls is actually just the inverse of the normal randomizer setting, where enemies you see will drop their traditional souls, which can actually be pretty impactful. So if you see a skeleton, it'll drop the skeleton soul, and so on. And it looks like we are getting started here.
Ainsley, Onakiri, Partisan.
Soul Eater Ring for very cheap in the shop is very funny, but sadly useless as we start with the Soul Eater Ring in this preset. Notably, Dainsliff is a very, very powerful weapon. Onakiri is definitely the safer pick here, easier to travel around the castle than a good multi-hit katana. Red Minotaur in the shop is also noticeable. While it is a very expensive soul that requires a lot of levels to use, it is a very powerful soul as well. And we're already seeing a bit of a divergence where Luicho picked up Onakiri and Berix did opt for the more powerful Dainsliff, but the slightly more unwieldy one. So far, nothing majorly noticeable in our intro to corridors here. The winged skeletons were pretty easy to deal with, especially compared to your normal Medusa heads there that we tend to see a lot in Stat Rando. And axe armors are much preferable to the Minotaur lineup we've been seeing a lot. Minus HP Creaking Skull is just going to go down without much of a struggle at all. And hopefully that blue canister is our runner's Black Panther. And only 6 checks in corridors, which is a decent amount. A little bit lower than I feel like we usually see, but still a very respectable amount. Here's hoping that we get a Malthus early. I feel like a lot of our enemy rando seeds recently have all been either Hippogriff or Bat seeds, so... So far, no major enemies worth farming. Skull Archer could be tempting, as it's a soul that's cheap and lets you pass through walls easily, but nothing that's really worth their time necessarily. Minotaur is actually one that could be potentially worth killing, at least on your way through, just at the shot for a +8 strength. Especially with minus HP, minus defense, I would not blame either of them for just killing the ones along the way, potentially farming the one really close to the entrance. And while I didn't mention it at first, Medusa Head's another solid pickup to have for Chaos, specifically if they don't have something like Slime. It makes dealing with the top eyes much easier, as does that Creaking Skull. And we have just having a brief moment where we're trying to fix our co-commentator Vaxtress's just mic for a moment. We were not quite sure what's going on with that. Right now, I will say, it looks like the Onigiri may have been a correct choice at the beginning. Also, noticeably there, Siren is an enemy they're probably going to want the farm, being one of the 2 sources of curse damage in the game. So any curse weak enemies, that'll be an extreme boon for it. And with the Soul Eater Ring and Siren's decent enough drop rate already, we are getting it for Luicho without much of a fight. And Berix just picking it up as well, so neither particularly had to lose much time, if any, farming it. They both just kind of got it on their way through. Only 1 check left in corridors into the well, and still no Malphus in sight. So I wonder if this last check is going to be either Malphus and no, Rotten Meat. Luicho just choosing to save split out, and Berix most likely going to elect to do the same. I don't believe either checked the initial entrance in corridor, but we're getting Study here. An area that is for sure navigatable without double jump or hippogriff, or flight of any form, I should say. Gym Clothes is a noticeable upgrade from Luicho's Nun armor. And there's Malphus, at least solving that conundrum for both of them pretty quickly. Zombie Officer, actually another good yellow soul to find, especially early on, that allows you to effectively negate knockback damage. So if you press the jump button when you get hit, you move directly back into actionable frings, which can help maneuvering through the castle and just kind of face tanking damage a lot nicer. Valkyrie, especially at minus HP, is another one that could for sure be worth their time just killing across along the way. Valkyrie is a very potent bullet soul that gives you strong holy type attack. And Altair from the red canister there. A fairly unremarkable bullet soul, but something that's still at least good for passing through walls. Both of them pretty neck and neck right now, as the seed was pretty linear up until this point, and there hasn't been a chance for either of them to pretty much diverge from it necessarily. Backdash is a nice pickup there. It would have been really nice for Berix if he had gone down and gotten that. Just would make combat with the Daneslith a lot nicer, especially before he goes into the boss here, which I imagine both of them will be doing. And Slide as well, which is something we were very much so looking for here at Study, so we don't have to walk all the way back up. So now they can actually take this bottom left entrance of Study and exit.
I'm going to bailed out from the Walk of Shame.
Yeah, and Belor as the Study boss could potentially be a problem this early on. Both runners are fairly experienced. Looks like Luicho may not even be stepping into it. He found Slide and is just electing to leave, or potentially save and come back. Oh, no. This is the worst case scenario for Berix. He's just going to save split right out of it. A plus defense resist Dark Belor with your only weapon being the Daneslith means you are doing nothing to him. While Berix is kind of retracing his steps through Study momentarily, Luicho has found the bottom half of Reservoir, or the top west section of Reservoir, which if there's not Skula here, he's not really doing anything. Looks like we're getting that Walk of Shame through Study either way. And like we mentioned earlier, Luicho putting that Zombie Officer Soul to great effect there to just kind of dash their enemies with a little bit no trouble, especially with that gold plate now giving them a much better defense boost than before.
Yeah, fortunately without the school, though, this is still the walk of shame here.
Yeah, luckily it never feels good to do, but it is at least a pretty quick walk. Study is not a large area.
Berix trying to do the boat jump here to get to that merman room.
I say it all the time when it comes up, but it is just an incredibly fickle trick that requires pretty precise positioning on the boat and a precise cycle from the boat. I think he's just really hoping that there's Skula there to bail him out from just kind of routing back through the castle, or potentially flight to even open up more choices. Luicho, meanwhile, is taking the double jump exit here in the beginning of corridors and finding inner quarters. I'm surprised at how long Berix is going for this trick.
Speaking of which, there's Skula.
All right, that simplifies a lot of things. As if Berix was listening, he gave it one more attempt and said, you know what, it's not worth spending this much time on, and is just dipping out. Meanwhile, Luicho finding Big Golem, a much, much easier boss than plus defense below. Now, it is pretty beefy at plus HP, and looking like it rolled a pretty high plus, but that Creaking Skull Onigiri combination should take it down pretty quickly. And even got the Golem Soul Drop off of it. Now, this is where we could potentially see our first major route divergence, but I imagine Berix is going to take the same entrance as Luicho here, just because it is the one that is, for sure, the first just kind of on their direct route.
Yep, Berix about to find inner quarters there.
It is where we just found Curly and a Devil, both of which could potentially drop Rush Souls. However, Curly was, while it was minus HP, minus defense, it was also resist slash, which makes it just kind of annoying to deal with. And Final Guard for Luicho could actually be very impactful for Chaos. I imagine Luicho's going to grab the warp here and go back to the shop just to do some of those last checks in corridors, since we know there's still one line.
So what's your guess on soul and boss requirements?
2 bosses, 1 soul. Soul is going to be Yellow Book. It's also going to be Study Boss.
You know, I'll agree with that, except I'll say it's Red Soul, and it's going to be Waiter Skeleton. Oh, hi, Skula, at the top of the entrance.
So just a duplicate school early on. That is interesting. Luicho now buying the Dainsliff as well, just for coverage, and because it is technically a stronger weapon, especially with backdash, making it a lot more like easy to manage. Although I think I do agree with the choice of picking up Onigiri, just with how easy it is to use while maneuvering through the castle, especially with like short hop canceling.
Finding Chapel at the bottom of the corridor entrance there. One place for Bone Pillar.
This is just an interesting spot to find Chapel overall. Wow, plus HP resist slash Waiter Skeleton.
Waiter Skeleton, my beloved.
I'm so sorry, they're not getting your favorite Bullet Soul quite yet.
No.
Minus HP Devil could actually be worth farming. Minus attack makes it safe too, and the chance of getting a Rush Soul there, and a good one at that, could be worth your time. Looks like you may have. You know, sometimes you just want it more.
True. Truly, Luicho just. Oh my gosh, I was just kidding. That's amazing. Sometimes you just want it more.
Apollo's dodgeball of prophecy strikes once again.
Hey, Red Book.
And it's Altair, which they both do have. Alright, you were right on the Red Book being a soul requirement.
You know, if you squint hard enough, Altair kind of looks like Waiter Skeleton.
No, yeah, expand on that, actually.
You gotta close both eyes, though.
Oh, okay, alright. Gotta really put your whole soul into it, I see.
For sure. Ooh,
Oh,
Triton.
that is a
nice.
huge pickup. I imagine Luicho may stick with Zombie Officer for the moment just for maneuverability through the castle, just to allow him to tank hits a lot more conveniently, like we just saw there.
Oh,
And
wow, Manicore being right there.
That is almost deflating. Getting insanely lucky, getting the Manicore drop, the first kill on the boss, just to have it be in the same area. Although we are seeing a bit of a difference here, where Berix has found the southwestern
Yellow
entrance of
Book
Reservoir.
and Zombie Officer. So Blue Book is a boss soul, or boss requirement.
And we already have red and yellow souls. That is interesting, to say the least.
And Berix got the Arc Demon drop off of Arc Demon there.
Oh, that is huge.
And Giant Bat from the slide check there.
So that gives him flight access, too. This is looking like it could be a very quick seed, potentially. I mean, especially for Luicho at this point, like, it's a pretty easy at this point, it's almost just boss rush for him.
Yeah, it just Luicho just has to find flight, and then it's just boss rush.
Speaking of which, Berix finding Headhunter, which is notably one of the shop bosses.
Weak to dark.
Oh, Dane's Left is going to make this thing it's a complete non-issue. Luicho deciding that Arc Demon wasn't worth his time.
So Luicho also going to find Bat here. So that's really all he needs.
Pretty much. I mean, you still want to keep an eye out for some of the more utility ones, especially like, you know, Hippogriff is always nice. There is a world where we need Undine, but it's not likely with the entrances we've found so far, I believe. Especially because we have found the locked top 4 entrance.
No, it's going to be Blue Book, a Cemetery boss, and Cemetery is behind the waterfall.
I like the way you think, Soldier. I do wonder if Berix is going to just
And
take
there's
this
Blue Book. Wow.
Oh, you know, all right. Luicho electing to do the waterfall climb here, mostly because I believe he's not actually at a high enough level to really use bat effectively. He could probably just bat up from here, which I think would be faster than the waterfall climb, yeah.
Berix finding top 4.
That was insanely close MP-wise.
Top 4 moving to the top of corridors there.
Which is interesting for sure.
Berix choosing to go through top floor here.
Probably grabbing at least the warp and just doing some of the earlier checks along it. Undine is
There's Undine. Man, what a seed.
Ooh, those plus attack Skullmillions are mean. And a Holy Trinity Red Minotaur. That could just kill you on the spot right now. The big problem we're seeing at the moment is Berix hasn't looked at the shop from Headhunter, but right now our equipment is not great. Dane's Life is good, don't get me wrong, but Chaos does resist dark naturally unless he rolls weak to dark. And I believe Graham does as well. And while the Onigiri is a decent choice for Chaos, and arguably for Graham as well, it's not unworkable, but not the best you could hope for either. Some very good movement from Berix there to conserve his MP enough to really just get to the top floor check here. That's flight locked. And he is fighting these Tritons along the way because he has not actually found the Triton soul drop yet. He has not been through Chapel.
Finding pitch blacks, dude. Not a terrible option there. That's a lot of ghost, giant ghost over there.
I can't believe the dance floor is haunted.
It's Melon. Tsuchinoka's attacking Luicho. Joyous.
That's at least a decent non-elemental weapon, although honestly, I think they both have options to just kind of outclass the Joyous at this point.
Great canister here, and it's Hippogriff.
Hippogriff is a very nice, like, quality of life pickup at this point.
So Berix finding the top of Chapel. He's going to find his 2 books here. And Mana Core.
Yeah, Chapel was just loaded to the brim. 2 books, Mana Core. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for.
Speaking of shop bosses, here's Death.
Berix also has Archdemon, which is worth noting. So with some decent healing, Mana Core plus Archdemon can solve the vast majority of the game.
Ah, it was Cursed Weak Death.
Siren paying off dividends already.
We're seeing the Joyous use here.
Berix did not get the Mana Core drop. Unlucky.
Flying armor behind Death.
Well, Luicho got flying armor first, so he wins the seed.
So both runners are equated now. They both have 2 books. Luicho doesn't know where the blue book is, but can't get it without Undine.
Berix, meanwhile, does have Undine and knows where top floor is, though neither knows where Garden is. Is Berix just gonna guess? Just assume he's beaten the blue book boss?
Is it a guess?
I think it is. Or he may be just making a save split to leave.
Oh, he's
going for it. All right, let's go.
Let's go. The 22-minute guess. Let's go.
I mean, if he's right, though, imagine.
I know.
He has Mana Core Archdemon. I mean, this is very doable.
Minus HP.
Weak to fire. Mana Core is only doing 85. That feels weirdly low.
What level is Berix? It's gotta be low. I mean,
16. That's not like awful.
Not terrible. Yeah. Nice kicker for Luicho.
Phase 2 of Graham starts.
All right, chat. Let's see if Berix's guess is gonna be right here. Not a lot of healing, but enough.
That was an unfortunate meteor. He didn't have it.
Didn't.
I can't believe it.
So it wasn't Headhunter. It's not. Oh gosh, I don't know what Berix has done. It's not Headhunter at least.
What he did? Clock Tower, Chapel, Corridors. Was that it?
Yeah, I think so.
So LuichoX currently for sure ahead on bosses. He has a much safer guess if he elects to right now. But he still has not found top floor, so.
Could be the Valor that they didn't find earlier.
You know, that's my current guess. If you see a plus defense, resist, double resist Valor, I feel like that's the universe telling you this guy's required.
But it's clearly Cemetery behind Waterfall. Which the Blue Book will tell them.
True.
Let's see, is Garden's going to be in its vanilla location? No, it's
Cemetery. I wonder if Gardens is behind Waterfall.
Garden's behind Waterfall that leads to Arena? That would be very funny.
That is possible, and this is top floor for LuichoX. Honestly, I think LuichoX's in a much better position to guess if he elects to go for it. Who's ahead? Right now, it's fairly even. LuichoX is ahead on bosses and knows where the blue book is. And having found Undine there, he's probably just going to go get the blue book and not even risk the guess. But they both have the red and yellow book with both requirements. Berix has a bit more map knowledge at the moment, but not by too horribly much. LuichoX is for sure ahead on bosses.
Oh yeah, LuichoX is going to Underground Reservoir, going to pick up Blue Book. Right, check behind the Waterfall, see if it is Gardens. So we still haven't seen the runners go back to the shop yet. And they both have each individually have defeated.
I believe LuichoX now has. LuichoX
both?
has defeated both now, yeah, because he just killed Headhunter as well.
Oh yes, yes.
Did he check Blue Book and I missed it?
FA behind.
Did we both just miss Blue Book?
I think we did.
Chat, please. If he's ignoring FA and going back, he might have it.
It was Dance Hall?
Dance Hall boss, which LuichoX has done because that was death.
So LuichoX is in go mode. Probably gonna go back. Oh, just gonna go straight to the top floor.
Yeah, the only thing is, I'm surprised he's not going to the shop, and I think he just realized it himself. Yeah.
I think if I was LuichoX, I would have checked at least what was behind FA to see if Gardens was there.
I think I do agree with you. Rahab's is huge. Gungner, my beloved, and
yeah.
Positron. Wow.
Wow, this is a very loaded shop here.
That's all just very good for coverage. Those are three of the best elemental aspects of each type. Positron's one of the best fire weapons you can hope for outside of are better than Leviathan, depending on who you ask. Rahab's is simply the best water element possible in the game, and Gungner's the best lighting element in the game. Don't let anyone else ever tell you otherwise.
Well, they'll have good elemental coverage here.
And Gungner and Positron are both good multi-hit weapons for Chaos as well. Shadow Knight, Wooden Golem,
Lubricant,
wow.
Stolas, yeah.
Especially Stolas and Lubricant, both with guaranteed Manticore in the seed that both of them have access to as well. That is massive.
Berix finding Arena here. These are not fun dryads to find here.
No kidding. Berix still hasn't gone to Dance Hall either, which is both required and where his source of Hippogriff is. So LuichoX for sure has a huge lead here.
No, the castle map.
You'll never know where to go. Oh, and Legion too. if he sticks with this is such a huge potential time loss for Berix.
But I put in good work here. Fire aspected.
Oh yeah, and Graham is one of those bosses you can actually just cheese with Positron. If you just dash into the back right corner, you can fire at his head the entire time. Minus HP, minus defense means Manticore should make quick work of Legion, even if it is plus attack, so it's not too huge of a time loss for him.
Lucho already on to phase 2 here.
Yeah, that Positron rifle is just making rapid work of Graham. Triple hits for 81. And minus HP.
Demon Lord putting in good work here, too. Oh, I can't believe it. He wasn't Dracula.
Honestly, my bets were on Graham.
And Galamoth behind Graham.
Oh, good. We can get that last inner quarters check.
Hey, it could be Chaos Ring.
Oh, true. In fact, I think it's worth his time to go back and check it now.
Obviously.
Oh, this is an interesting decision. Unless he's forgotten where this goes. He has forgotten where that door left.
He has remembered it now. So now we're back to checking doors, because we still don't know where Gardens is. My personal guess is it's behind FA.
I think that's probably correct.
There's nothing that can dead end Gardens.
Berix just found FA.
Gardens.
Oh, wow. We are just on a roll today, huh?
Which door was that? Two check Gardens.
Could be a duplicate blue book, would be nice. Yeah, enemy rando causes a lot of just fun little interactions like platforms not spawning and just saying, figure it out. Luicho does seem a little bit lost right now. He's going to find Cemetery here, which he knows is just a dead end for him.
Well, no duplicate blue. No duplicate blue.
And...
Oh, look, I was right.
Yeah. However, I did not see where the other Garden's entrance was.
We're going to find out, because...
he has to go back through it. Yeah. I think it's one of the flight entrances in corridors. Yes, it's the flight entrance corridor. That's what I thought, but I wasn't 100%. Okay.
Well, Lucho will find this here in just a minute.
Yeah, he is coming up on it right now. They're pretty much high-fiving. And honestly, I was going to say it'll be pretty impactful with Julius rolls, but with Positron Rifle, you can deal with Julius pretty safely with almost zero threat to yourself. May not be the fastest if he's resist fire or something, but it is just pretty much a guaranteed easy kill. Skull Million is actually a good pickup here just for the poison coverage.
So Berix looks like he's going to go back and fight Belor.
Plus attack, minus defense.
Not terrible, especially when you have Positron and you can just kind of range Julius.
Yeah. Yeah, especially 52 per multi-hit, so you're doing 100 per hit, that's like, or 100 per swing, that's really not bad. Although, man, he does just hurt.
Still no joke, that plus attack Julius. Berix fighting Balor with Poison Fist. Still hasn't gone back to the shop and seen all the nice shop upgrades that are available.
Come on, Luicho, you could have done lubricant strats for a little bit longer before healing. Just don't get hit. Easy.
Ooh, nice mana corner swings there. And
we should. There it
phase
is.
2 we go.
Phase 2 of Balor as well for Berix, and it goes down, which will give him a very nice level gap.
I'm curious if we'll see Berix guess again before... And Julius goes down.
I mean, if we do, it'll be very, very unfortunate considering we know he hasn't done I think Dance Hall may be the only boss he hasn't done at this point.
We will get to see what's on this Merman check, though. Hello, Final Guard.
Oh!
Hello, Tallhammer.
Downgrade from Gungner, L.
Hello, plus attack Final Guard.
Oh, no.
No, not a bad chaotic realm so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Berix going through the eastern part of Reservoir here. Fortunately, not where he wants to be.
The one red soul canister check, just skipping it. I mean, there's nothing could really be. I mean, lightning doll maybe, but silver plate, which is actually might be better than his current armor, but not by a wide enough margin for it to matter much.
I think everything just didn't exist there in that room.
Couldn't load in, not enough memory. GBA's only got so much.
All right, Luicho, on to the final boss here. Let's see what chaos rolls. Could be harsh. Could be nice.
He's got Gungner. He's fine.
Berix making his way back to the shop now. Just plus HP.
Very simple chaos. Going for Lubricant Mana Core, just doing one of his full heals there.
Not enough healing shouldn't be too much of a problem, honestly.
Yeah, with just plus HP Chaos is annoying, but I mean, it's much better than seeing potentially like a plus defense. Or like an annoying resist of any element wouldn't be particularly bad either, just with how much coverage he has. Obviously, weakness is the thing you want to see the most, but... I'm just surprised that he's sticking with Positron over something like Gungner or Yasutsuna, even.
Could just be a comfort thing.
Yeah. I think Positron's probably better than Yasutsuna, but...
Yeah. It is my favorite weapon. I do enjoy a good Positron.
I just feel like I feel like I never see it.
Looks like Berix is going to go guess. Unfortunately, we know that it's Dance Hall, so this is going to be an unsuccessful guess.
Yeah, this is... I mean, I imagine this is going to be incredibly frustrating for Berix, knowing you have one boss left, and it just happens to be that one. I mean, the downside is he hasn't even gone back to Reservoir into the Waterfall Room either, so he hasn't even seen the Blue Book, which is just kind of the worst-case scenario for him.
So those lack of levels will hurt a little bit here.
Yeah, level 17 is not awful for Chaos in the endgame, but it is definitely a bit low. You usually... Level 20 is kind of your comfort zone here. He does have Medusa Head. Medusa Head with Positron would actually make this a lot simpler.
Oh, and Berix finding out that the guess was incorrect and that it is Dance Hall.
See, he's realized the light. Look at Gungner hitting for triple 76. That's better than Positron was hitting, much better than Yasutsuna was hitting.
Yep, Gungner winners stay winning here.
Great positioning around the Chaos Snake there.
Gonna switch to Tall Hammer, see how much it does. 14 per hit.
And with good positioning, it will get the triple hit, so...
Needs to be careful, this is a precarious position.
Oh, yeah, especially that snake just being as much of a problem as it tends to.
Everybody's good friend, the Chaos Snake.
Every time you think you're having a good run, it's here just to remind you things can still go wrong.
Fortunately, lower level plus HP Chaos will make a slow Chaos for sure.
Yeah, this is mainly just a test of how well can you execute, and how little can you effectively... Testing how well you can execute and just not make any mistakes, because every mistake is going to add up, especially when you have a limited supply of healing like LuichoX does.
And Barry's finding Hippogriff. Gonna go to the dance hall boss here in just a second.
I wonder if at this point it would have been better to take out the fourth eye. And it's GG.
Down goes.
Oh, that was a beefy chaos.
And Berix taking down Death there.
I do wonder if Berix is going to elect to play this seed out or not, or just move on to game 2. Yeah, that chaos was pretty much just an endurance gauntlet, which is always unfortunate in those situations. It can make it feel very tense. Looks like Berix may be electing to play out the end of this, which, honestly, entirely fair. Alright, Manicore and then Positron gonna make it incredibly fast work out of Graham part 1 and 2 here. Especially with that Arc Demon he has. And on to phase 3. Minus HP Graham just really kind of being Berix's punching bag here. Chad is asking if he guessed. Yes, this is Berix's 3rd Graham fight. At one point he
guessed super early, like around the almost 22-minute mark, I think.
Oh yeah, when he had only 3 boss kills, I think. Because he had Chapel, Corridors, and Clock Tower, right? Because it was Headhunter.
Yes.
And just killed Graham pretty quickly, not too much, but then he guessed again after having defeated every boss but Dance Hall, which we already knew was the mandatory boss, and that was just kind of heartbreaking to watch.
Yep, unfortunately, sometimes gas taketh away.
He is picking up the Gungnir because, you know, he's a goated player.
But not Positron, sad. Unless you picked it up.
Oh, he already had Positron, yeah.
Okay.
Positron was from the Headhunter shop, where Gungnir was from the Death shop. Oh, right. Berix actually still hasn't gone to Waterfall, still hasn't found the Blue Book, and doesn't know that that's the FA entrance, so he's taking the Corridors entrance to Gardens. Still a miserable spot for Big Golem. You know, I think there's an argument to just kind of remove Big Golem from the enemy randomizer, but I think that argument's bad, and we should leave it in because it's funny.
No, in fact, I think we need more big golems, more final guards.
You know what? Spitting. Actually, I think you're a genius. All right, looks like Berix did just mark himself DNF, so he's not gonna finish out Julius and Chaos, it seems.
So we are gonna get things set up for game 2 here in just a few minutes. So stick around, and we will be back here momentarily.
I do believe we're going for another enemy rando, but I'm not 100%.